Hello, YouTube specific watchers. We record this just for you. How special is that? The Spotify jiglets don't get this. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know that you like it. Otherwise, we won't know to keep making it.
Now, usually we top the episode by being like, this is in it, this is in it, this is in it. Please watch. We don't even need to do that because our guest is so fucking brilliant. You're just going to watch the whole thing. I know it for sure. We're joined by the beautiful Karis Oka. Let's go.
Enjoy the episode.
A rat and a bag, that's a rat bag. You put a bag on a rat, that's a suffocated rat. You put a rat in a bag, it's like squeak. Let's go, it's Ratbag.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the most thrillifying, wickedly talented episode of Ratbag. We have an absolute icon of Australian musical theatre, an icon of my personal life and our lives.
Yeah.
It's Karis Oka we are joined with today in the studio.
Hello. Insert Broadway applause sound.
Bravissima!
We know who we're interviewing. Insert that. And bravo. Roses, roses, roses.
Thank you.
What we have to unpack so quickly
Go
is,
on.
so Karis is a dear friend of mine. How lucky I am. And of Sam's also. And I love that for a background to today, you can head over to the YouTube to look at it. Normally we're like, neon green, a pink and orange swirl. And I went, my friend Karis, gotta do a skeleton head.
Is it bleeding?
It's also lying down. It's not like it's face front on with blood trickling down. It's dead.
It's horizontal.
The skeleton is asleep.
Yeah.
Hey, what a journey.
What a
Beautiful.
journey.
I really like it.
No, we picked it for you because
Thank
you're
you.
kind of cool and goth in my eyes. If I'm being brutally honest, I'm like, yeah, I like exactly what you're wearing. I was like, you would wear something like that. I love it. You are so cool and goth, and Karis is a bit of a cool girl, and I feel like a bit of a loser today on the pod. Do you know what I mean?
It's
No,
really true
genuinely.
though. We look
Yeah.
up to you so much in many, many ways.
For the idiots that are listening to Ratbag but haven't had the pleasure of following you on your very cool gram, what do you do? Who are you?
Who the fuck are
Who
you?
are you, man?
I am Karis, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm an actor. I do musical theatre stuff. I do some film and TV stuff.
Yep.
And I feel like that's the basic boring.
But you wanna
answer.
do it. Yeah.
Do you want to give like a really swift, like, even though it was such a gross question, because I actually want to be like, what's your favorite color? But really quickly, like, give everyone maybe like a little overview of like the things you've done in the industry so far.
I was in Six the Musical. I was a swing.
Hardest job in the world.
Yes. I did it for ages and ages.
And you covered every single swing, correct? Every single role.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. And I was also in Fangirls, which you, Mel, were also in.
Fangirls alert.
Yeah, not the same version, but we were both in the same show.
Yeah. You played the lead in that, correct?
Yes, I did.
I'm leading you there,
I was
cool
going to say,
girl.
us leading you there to be like, Karis is actually the biggest star, but also the most humble person in the world, being like, I've done a few things.
Stars?
And we're like, you are our inspiration.
Stars can wear distressed Von Dutch, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, you were saying, so Fangirls, yeah.
Fangirls, and then film and TV wise, I did Erotic Stories on SBS, Population 11 on Stan.
Yeah, cool.
I am about to be in something else, but I'm never quite sure on the confidentiality of that. Especially with film and TV things, sometimes you can just have it on your IMDb the second you're casting it.
So
and other
true.
times they're like,
Sure.
don't get in that photo because you haven't been announced yet. And I'm
So
like,
Have you
true.
ever made that mistake and your agent's gone, you need to delete that post immediately?
no, but I have dreams about it all the time.
We were talking in a previous episode where every night before I go to bed, I make sure I haven't, every night, like setting an alarm, I make sure I haven't accidentally uploaded an Instagram story or uploaded a TikTok from my camera roll in my sleep or just as a butt dial every night before I go to bed. Is that a bit of you? Do you do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have like a private Instagram and a public one. So every time I post something on my private, I like will wake up and be like, I just need to double check.
Have you ever posted something you
Yes, but I rolled with it and actually people ate it up. So I was fuck.
Yeah.
Did you come clean and go, this was meant to be for the private? Or
I think I did.
It was just a bit unfiltered and a bit more...
Yes, I did, and I actually remember exactly what the post was now.
was it?
It was a picture of, Birdo from Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar. Sam won't, because Sam's never played Mario Kart Day No Life.
Well, no, there's Birdo from Mario Kart, and she's got this like big nose with like it's kind of like a horn thing, and I posted just a picture of her with the caption, "Ayo Birdo, what that mouth do?" And I put it on my main, and I was like,
No, but that's fucking good.
Oh, that's so good.
Anyway.
So you're a star of film and TV and the stage. This is such
And that's in your words.
Yeah.
You said you're a life-changing actress.
No, I did forget to say that I also did Ride the Cyclone with Mel.
course.
And
Yes.
I was in The Deb.
Yes,
of course. Of course.
Which we are so desperate to see.
I
Who
know.
knows if we'll ever get to see
Hey,
it?
I don't
we'll
know.
just keep on waiting on this erect couch and just see if it happens. I have like such a basic question, but I really do want to know, do you have, like, obviously you're such a star in both worlds. You're such a star on the screen and you're such a star on stage. And we're going to get more into talking about the stage a little bit later. Do you have a preference? Like, if you really had to pick one to do for the rest of your life, or is it really like,
That's a
no,
great
Sam,
question.
it's 50-50? Is there one you enjoy more professionally, like one you enjoy more creatively? What do you like?
Whenever I'm doing one, I like the other one more.
Sure.
But that's also just
So
how I am with
interesting.
everything in my life ever.
Yeah.
Do you like to zip? Do you like to be busy and zip from thing to thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I like the routine of musicals and theatre more. I
Yeah.
love the repetition. I love the like show schedule. I love going from rehearsal into take. I love all of that. And like
Because the daily of it more reflects like a 9 to 5, doesn't it? More so than film and TV does. Would you say?
it's sometimes like I've worked on something where we did like 9 to 5 hours basically and had like kind of the weekends
true.
off and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
it's so they're both so different. Like even though you're just acting in both of them, it's like film and TV being just like you just get one shot at it, and if you didn't like it, too bad. You'll see
Yeah.
it in a few months or a year and
Yeah.
make peace with that. And also, there's like no. Like, hate to say it, there's no instant reward. And I
Yeah.
love that. I love being
Yeah.
able to like, I make a joke in the moment and then like can hear the laugh or
course.
not.
Yeah.
And just like have instant feedback. I find the like ambiguity of like the process of film and TV just harder because I just don't think I'm wired for
Yeah.
that just because I actually didn't have as much training in it if at all.
Interesting.
Does it kill you that you can't see it? I always find the small amount of film and TV stuff I've done, I'm always like, what does it look like?
A little bit,
Yeah.
but I also kind of am like, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go, I didn't like that. I like need to move my hair or something.
Totally.
It's like I kind of just
Yeah.
release, you just really release with film and TV into not knowing,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not having your claws in it as much and not being able to really like ever
Yeah.
feel like you nailed it in a way,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is really, I think, good for someone like me, like brain wise. But then I think
Yeah.
I also am like, let me sing.
No, I think I feel like as well, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like we are all people sitting on this couch that are very energy vibe driven people. And I feel like maybe you get a bit more of that on stage. At least I found doing stage stuff, screen stuff, the energy exchange from the audience, the backstage hum, all of that, like that makes something so special. But film and TV is cool too. And you're slaying in both.
Oh,
in
thank
both
you.
worlds.
Speaking of slaying in both worlds,
Please.
we must unpack. This is what everyone wants to know about. Karis has just been announced as playing Lydia Dietz in Beetlejuice.
It's so huge.
It is.
The biggest deal. It's so, I loved, I mean, we're going to talk about so much about everything to do with it, but my
Yep.
favorite thing in the world was, first of all, you breaking the internet with the announcement. Shock horror.
I've never seen more comments of this is perfect casting, this is perfect casting.
That's what I was going to say.
Yep.
How did it feel seeing all of that love? How was that day for you when it got like announced to the world? And also like tell everyone a little bit about like what this role means to you as well.
Please.
Well, it's my dream role, and the day felt like the announcement day felt crazy. Also, it was after a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
I feel like to this day, really, my experience with Beetlejuice has just been waiting.
How long are you
Yeah.
waiting for once you got cast to then announce it?
I found out on the last day of July.
Far out. That is a long time to be waiting. Okay.
And
gotcha.
the rest of the cast is still waiting
Yeah.
as well. So
And I'm sure it would have been waiting as well for when you first discovered the show, waiting
Yeah.
for it to come to Australia.
Of course.
Waiting for auditions to be announced.
yes,
Yeah.
and I think we got like the announcement that it was coming like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
didn't we?
that's
And I
insane.
remember like seeing like the first article being like, "Oh, it's coming to Australia," and like my heart rate is going, and I
She's never been the same.
So it was that energy for ages. But so by the time I got around to auditions, it was just like a big mental game of me
Yeah.
not like having years of like this.
Yeah. Did you feel like people were also putting a little bit of that pressure on you because you were having conversations with, you'd be a brilliant Lydia, you'd be an amazing Lydia. So you went into the auditions with that preconceived
Absolutely.
Stress? Yeah.
It's so tricky. And I've tried to like think about exactly how to word my feelings about all of that, because it had been a lot of that. A lot of people talking. And I know that everyone is saying it to be so nice and supportive.
Yeah.
But by the time it got around to auditions, that I had a lot of people in my ear that I was like, whoa, this is also just like, there's me just wanting it, which already felt like extremely overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then there was, a lot of that hanging over me. And then also like, I'm not really someone that necessarily needs that. Like meaning that I'm not really a words of affirmation person.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Someone being like, oh, you're so going to get it. I'm never like, oh my God, really? You think so?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm kind of like, oh, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
And I, especially when I was getting towards like the hairy end of the auditions, I was going a little bit evil in my brain, because someone would be like, oh, but you've got it. And I would be like, you're not on the panel.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. It's also sometimes a bit, I know it's well-intentioned, but it can feel a bit careless. Like, if you don't know,
Oh my God.
don't say that to me.
I know. But and then also like, we have, like in musical theatre, notoriously not really quite been able to trust casting directors.
100%.
Sure.
For everyone that said it, I was like, you're like, that's lovely. However, like this, you're not the panel. And
And I could have felt like I nailed it and gave them the Lydia I think they want, but who the fuck knows? They
Exactly.
could go a million directions.
And I kept thinking, could be someone we have no idea about,
Totally.
that I've never seen before, that's just so perfect or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, blah, 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 all that to say I got it. So like I feel weird even like going on and on about that, because I'm like, and anyway, moral of the story is it was fine at the end. But it was a whole thing. But
So tell us about like what this role means to you and why you love her so much and why you're so excited to play her.
She's a character that I've definitely like resonated with. I like resonate with that archetype in any art ever. And not only that, I feel like other people see that for me too. Like, and I felt very validated by that identity-wise. Just like being like, oh, like that thing that I resonate with, someone else sees that too.
Yeah.
Actually does so much.
Everyone
especially
kind of
growing up.
sees me the way I see
Matching.
myself.
Yeah, it's so simple. And like, I think that's the really like, I don't crave words of affirmation, but I crave like that, like identity affirming things. When someone goes like, all of that stuff you feel about yourself, like I see that. And not only that, like that character is really beloved. Like everyone gets around that character.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely the craziest coincidence that it's like, it suits my voice. And I like, also fit in that world and that I'm not any older than I am, and I was born at the right time in the right place.
I would say it's such a timing thing as well, isn't it? Of like, it's come at the perfect time. You're so ready to do it. Like it's a role that like holds the show and leads the show. And like you've had roles like that before, obviously, but like it's so mammoth that it's just like you are so ready for that. Like
I am. I feel so ready for it. I don't know. Cut to me in like a few months into the show, and I'll be like, like if there's any, I do think. Like with our careers and stuff, I'm sure you guys feel the same about like all of the things that you do, but you're like, oh, I'm better suited to deal with any problems in this world than I am to deal with problems in any other space.
100%.
Like I can deal with the stress of like a podcast not going right, or like hosting something or doing a comedy show and this fails, like, but as opposed to like another space, you're like, the
100%.
problems here are actually like,
Of course.
just not compatible with the way that I problem solve.
you're like, I've trained for this. This is what I've actually like. My life has led up to this.
yeah.
Not to put pressure on it.
No, but I think it was going to be that anyway. Like,
Is there anything that you are really nervous about?
yeah, I think just like meeting the standard that I've set myself and everyone else seems to have for me too. But also I'm not, like, I know it's going to be big, and I know that like opening night I'm going to be so emotional and like all of those theatery things.
It's really interesting.
no,
Sorry, no, I was just going to say with music theatre, it's such a fascinating industry because I think it is rare compared to film and TV and other art mediums where the pressure that is put on a musical that people know that's coming to a new country or that's been a revival, because the world of TikTok and the world of like online and social media being like, we're comparing all of the Alphabiz riff at the end of The Wizard and I. We're comparing all of Glinda's this. Everyone's
compilations.
dance break and anything goes. And I go, that's that's an intense pressure in the first place. Whereas like a new original role, you kind of get to make it your own, and there's no preconceived notions. Do you feel like you're going up against, like, I'm not super across all of the Lydias that have Lydia'd before, but do you feel a pressure to you will bring something different because it's you, and that's why it's beautiful. But do you feel that pressure to be putting on those shoes or those monster boots or, you know, those Beatles slippers, if you will? Do you feel that pressure, and how do you, and you as well, Mel, thanks for being my guest.
Thanks, man.
Because I don't work in music theatre in that way. You guys have done shows that have been before, like Ride the Cyclone. There was all that pressure on. Can't wait to see what the cast is doing. How do you navigate that preconceived pressure to give something different?
I'm pretty good and like I'm one of my weird gifts throughout doing or even like musical theatre training and stuff and at auditions, I don't really give a fuck what anyone else was doing. Like I'm cool. Like I'm definitely always someone that does my own version, and it's influenced by other things, and I like to take bits and pieces, but I'm never ever someone that's hyper aware of what other people are doing / have done. Even if I try to be, I kind of just I know I'm not going to be able to do anything like them. So it's the Montessori kid in me. I'm fully...
It's my favourite part of Karis Law.
Really? Montessori kid?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it. Montessori, where's Von Dutch? That's the episode title, not even your name. Who cares? Hey, that's really cool.
I don't know if you feel this. I feel like it's maybe in a similar boat. It's what I often think when I'm going for a role, I'm waiting to hear if I got something that my heart is really in, something that really helps me a lot, that loops back to the question you asked, is when I don't get something that I think I'm perfect for, I go in especially if I've nailed it in the room, I've nailed it in the audition process, I often go, do you know what? That was the best I could have done it. So if that wasn't what they wanted, nothing I'm ever going to bring to the room is going to be what they wanted. So when it comes to like the pressure of other things, when I'm in the role and I'm like, well, someone picked this and it's going to be my version that is going to be so different to what's come before it. Because that's the dream, hopefully. You never kind of want to be replicating. That's the joy in it, right? Like when you have a text and you're like, what's my colour on this, or what's my take on this, what's my point of view on these words.
Do you have, oh no, sorry, please go.
I was just going to say, and I think when you're already like a little bit out of the box, you have permission to, like you don't feel like you're compared to the other people anyway.
So true.
I don't know if this is like actually how the panel sees me at all, but like a thing that I've made up in my brain and like run with is that like if I'm not an obvious yes, then I'm probably a no. Like I don't know. I'd love to be in that grey area, but I don't. Like I feel like the way that I go through auditions and stuff, I'm like, I'm rarely just kept in just to see what she can do. It's kind of, I feel like I get like sifted in and
Karis
out.
Or
like
not.
If you want, and I've just kind of got to hope that they, like if I'm going for something that taste-wise, they like me. Just as me rather than like me in comparison to someone else, because it's too hard.
I
feel that. I feel like we might end up in similar situations. Maybe, I'm keen to hear your thoughts on this, where you might be kept as like if you are ever kept as an option, it's like we've got the version of the show that's the Karis version where things are shaped around that, or like, or you know, like we go a completely different direction. I wanted to know.
Go on.
How are you feeling about starring alongside Mr. Perfect himself?
Mr. Perfect. Such a sweet little name.
Monsieur Perfect.
Monsieur Perfect. I'm really excited. I keep saying I'm excited for him. Who's watching this like
so
hey,
proud
dude,
of
I'd
you.
be really excited for you. But I am, because I think I said in some other interview, sorry for repeating it, but I am like, anytime I'm like, this is huge for me. I'm like, this is huge for him. Like,
literally.
This is like huge, like, but also he's going to rock up and like claim the space in however way he's going to do it. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, and here I go, it is so huge. It's just like, we're all just going to naturally, I think, slot in.
And I think he'll be feeling massive pressure as well.
Of course.
Of people being like,
we're all in it together.
I do want to know, because I actually don't know this about you. I think when I think of you, I think music theatre and I think film and TV and Vibe Town galore. If you weren't doing music theatre or acting, what career path do you reckon you would have gone down?
Well, it's hard to say because I don't think I would be me. So
I totally understand that. And I feel that. We are the same. If you had to pick something.
Parallel universe.
Yeah, sure.
Probably like maybe a visual artist, maybe like a tattoo artist or something. But I think I would maybe, because I do like drawing and stuff like that.
You're so gorgeous. The slight apathy in your voice then of being like, because it's not what I'm doing. You're like, tattoo, but I so get it. Music theatre's for you. I love sitting. I feel like you're very similar to me and Mel. It just like being an artist is so in your blood and you can't escape it. And you're so in the right career. It's just like oozing out of you.
Yeah.
I love it.
I can't even imagine what I'd be without it.
No.
Well, what a beautiful way to feel, because guess what? You've got it.
Thank God.
We're going to, now Karis, before we started this episode, was like, I have a question about the pod. And we are like, yeah. And she was like, am I going to get to hear the stings in real life? And we're like,
Yeah, I love them.
devastatingly
They're
so.
a post-prod thing.
They're a post-prod. But I would love for you to do your own little bring bitch hotline sting,
Sure.
if you know it.
I think I do. It goes, bring bitch. Hello, I have a question and you guys seem really hot and cool and smart. Hello.
The Aussie hello was so good.
Bring bitch.
I kind of have a question, and you two seem really cool and hot and smart. Hello?
It's the way my socks have been blown off by that.
Can I also do the Ratbag intro?
Yeah, you please.
Ready?
Please.
I just love it so much. You take a rat and a bag, that's a rat bag. You put a bag on a rat and that's a suffocated rat. You put a rat in a bag and it's like squeak. Let's go, bitch, it's Ratbag. I think I zoned out in the middle of that.
I think your voice
Karis, where'd you go?
Your voice is so sexy and cool that I think we might have to sub it in. Karis's vocal line sits on top of ours, just with a few extra, let's fucking go, bitch. Yeah, it's Ratbag. God, you're good.
With that being said, we've of course opened up our bring bitch hotline. We opened up our question box for people who love and adore you, of which there are so many.
Aw.
And they simply filled the question
Music
box.
theatre fandom is fascinating to me. God, they're a
Filled
passionate,
it.
beautiful group. I love them.
With the most beautiful questions. And so we're going to ask some of your questions for Karis today. And I've handpicked, because we simply can't get through all of them. So thank you so much for everyone who wrote in. I loved this question, Karis.
Oh my God.
And I think you'll love answering it.
Oh, okay.
Where does your love for creepy, quirky, spooky things come from?
That is a great question.
Isn't it? Bravo.
Actually, no one's ever asked me before.
This is.
Let's
I
do
actually
it.
went. There were so many questions about music theatre. I went, fuck that off. Tell us about this.
I love that. The amazing thing is I don't know. Like it is super innate. I often think of like the things that I like and love and or I'm drawn to in like two categories. One is like it makes sense.
Yep.
So like it makes sense that I would like The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's duh. Just like on a list of things that is in it, like you could tick.
Yeah.
And then there are things that I cannot help, but I'm just like, I don't know why. I like this more than everything else. And like, I think growing up, it was in like those kind of like Lydia coded characters, like Shigo Kim Possible, like always like the like alt coded character, and that just like kept leaning and leaning and leaning. But also like I love horror and scary things because I don't think it's like obviously like it's scary, but I do think that it's beautiful. And I've just always, you know how like there are always those things and you're like, I just feel like I see it a little, having a different reaction to how other people are having it.
Yeah.
And you got to like roll with that. I feel like that's so, like something's speaking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but oh my God, I actually nearly brought in. I'm glad I didn't, but I was going to voice it anyway. I nearly brought in my rat in a jar.
I was talking about your rat the other day.
But it
to
actually looked a
someone.
bit, it looked a bit discoloured. I actually think I need to change the alcohol, and I was like, I'm not going to
dear.
bring her
Can
out
you
in this
explain to-
state.
I've
Do you know
heard
about
Quasi,
this?
you own a rat in a jar, correct?
Yes.
Let's go in. Let's massage
Yes.
that out a bit. So one rat? One
yeah,
jar?
just one so far.
One rat.
So
But I was like, oh my God, I'm going on Ratbag. I could bring it, but like, it's just, I don't want to shake it up and all that stuff.
How long have you had this rat for?
Only really recently, only in the past 2 months.
Does it have a name?
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And can you talk to me? I love that we're like, this is what we've really got to unpack, the rat in the jar, but it's Ratbag.
Yeah.
It'd be rude not to. How do they come to be
In the jar.
In the jar.
Well, they die, and then someone like preserves them.
And they die by natural causes?
Yep. So the person I actually got them from told me that they are the rats that like are sold at pet stores that have died, and they're
So
going
they're
to give
not
them.
famous rats in West Side Story.
You don't have Ratatouille in there.
No, definitely not
Remy.
Ratatouille. I haven't got Remy in a
They're
jar.
pet stock rats.
But no, they were like going to be fed to snakes. So fuck the snakes, I guess.
Fuck the snakes. Can I ask, no one asked this, but I want to know, what are like a couple of your other favorite like little creepy little weird things that you own? I know you love your things.
Oh, I do. I have like a chicken foot.
Yep, in a jar.
No, it's like I think it's covered in like a wax or
Yes.
something like
Gotcha.
that. So it's not like it's not like deteriorating or
Yep.
like
Yeah.
or any of that. And that's great for protection. And I love that. It just looks sick. And I'm about to get a car and I'm going to definitely like hang it in my window.
Yep.
Karis is solidarity alongside me because she's just got her peas and I'm about to soon sit for my peas.
bitch.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
shit.
it.
Oh, shit.
You both can belt the shit out of any song. Who cares if you can drive down Smith Street
Can't wait.
successfully?
Can't
I don't
wait.
even care.
Someone asked about within the audition process for Beetlejuice, was there a song you sung first that wasn't from the show?
No.
Oh, it was straight up.
I was ready
show
to.
material. Yeah. What would you have done?
What was prepared?
I was going to do one of my favourite songs of the world, which is crazy that I would bring that in for an audition and potentially ruin it. But I was going to do I'm With You by Avril Lavigne.
Oh, nice.
That's a brilliant choice.
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
That's
I
a
forget
brilliant
you
choice.
don't have to always do MT to audition for
Yeah,
MT.
yeah.
That's so cool.
A lot of people ask this question. They're keen to know about your other dream roles, if you have any.
Oh my God.
And then on top of that, I loved this question. It was, what is like a typically male Broadway character that you think would be way better as a lesbian?
Oh my God.
In the canon.
I mean, nearly every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really think Seymour in Little Shop as a little Butch Les.
As a little Butch Les.
Yeah, I know. And the dentist.
Just entire
Wait a minute.
lesbian Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky. What am I saying? Little Shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I fucking love Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
I see that for sure.
Do you have any other dream roles?
Oh, it feels crazy, like having voiced that Lydia is my dream role and then to voice another one like before even doing
no,
Lydia.
limit.
No, who cares?
I do think that the universe has kept me like painfully single so that one day I can play Dawn in Waitress.
So let's be real. Why the F has that not come here yet?
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't understand.
They lost Delta. Wasn't that the tea?
Was Delta playing the lead?
They lost Delta.
She's still with us.
She's still with us. Thank
you go.
God.
That
Heavens
is
above.
wild.
Yeah.
my
Delta
God.
was going to be Jenna, and then Delta was busy. And then it was COVID, and then Delta was busy, is my understanding.
I don't know.
Me
She was
pulling
too
out my
busy.
absolute arse.
She was releasing Power, her fragrance. There you go. Oh my God. What's more from the hotline?
Oh yeah,
I
more
wanna
from the
know.
hotline. A lot of gorgeous aspiring young performers just being like, what are your kind of major tips that come to mind? Obviously, it's a hard industry. Is there anything that comes to mind for aspiring performers? Kind of general, but whichever way you want to take it.
Like this, I feel like it's a more vague answer rather than like a specific like go to dance class thing. But like have a point of view. Like please think about what you like, what you don't like, what you believe in, what you're curious about, and bring that to the characters you play. If the character believes in something, how do you feel about that? Just think about it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of seeing people who are just they're good, they're so good, and they're lovely, amazing people, but no point of view. Point of view is kind of everything to me.
Is that taught at music theatre
I don't
school?
think you can teach point of view. I think I think it's something you don't have to bring it.
Or more, maybe I mean, are you undoing a lot of work in music theatre school that's like be malleable, stand on this X, high kick, wear this blonde wig, be this character, be on time? Like, do you feel like did you have to do any undoing or unlearning post music theatre school?
Yeah, but I often think of musical, like drama school,
Yeah.
they're trying to find a way to be able to mark
Sure.
your talent.
Yeah.
And like you can't grade talent. You
No,
can't like,
and that's
because
fair.
I always say there's someone that's worked so hard on all of the curriculum like little boxes, and they come in and they do a performance, and I'd rather watch my friend who just rolled out of bed and just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I always think that uni or drama school and all that stuff, they're trying to like do things to especially if it's a part of a uni, to like
Yeah.
to grade
Yeah,
you.
it's almost
so you
impossible.
can't really. That's not actually like the skills that you necessarily need on
Yeah.
the job.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a bit of a boring answer, but it is.
No,
it
it's
It's
is
not a
really
boring
true.
answer at all.
No.
I know that I wasn't the person who was asked. However, I would love to share
Yeah,
my
please.
like number one piece of advice in the times that I have been asked this question, which is I would say don't allow like the institutions and the schools to like tell you whether you should be doing this as a job. And I think because that's an easy thing to do. I think a lot of people will audition for the VCAs and the Whoppers and the Nighters, and if they don't get in within 2 or 3 tries, they're like, well, that's clearly a sign that I shouldn't be doing it. I'm a person who has like built a career, like managed to build a career. VCA didn't want a bar of me. Yep. Whopper didn't want a bar of me. And it would have been really easy for me to be like, I think that's clearly a sign that I shouldn't be doing this. And I think those institutions are really specific places looking for really specific things. And it's not always the most interesting thing that they're looking for.
Their loss, honestly. It's the
Yeah.
biggest their loss.
But I think like the
I know you're not bitter about it.
Yeah,
that's not
at
what
all.
I'm
The
saying.
pathways that you can find to like be a performer or be a creative are like literally never ending.
Yeah.
And I also think the more like be a normal person, like do other things. That like I
agree.
always say the best thing you can do to succeed as a musical theatre person is not be a musical theatre person.
You've spoken about making sure you have a circle of friends that are normies and that
Jesus,
won't.
yes.
We're not all up each other's asses just singing Ave Maria. We're actually hanging out and going to the footy and
live
chilling out and living.
Because by nature it will consume you.
Yes.
You don't need to do any. You don't need to fan the flame. You go do other things.
Yeah.
And get hobbies and literally just do normal people stuff.
Yeah.
Or else you will be weird and crazy in those auditions and weirder if you get the job.
And that still happens.
Yeah.
You do have a lot.
Yeah.
Karis Oka, have you ever made a mortifying mistake on stage?
One time my skirt fell off, but I
show was
was
that in?
Fangirls.
Oh.
I was wearing like a quick change thing underneath, so it was kind of. It wasn't even like it was like, we see her butt or anything. It was like, oh, this is just to be awkward and comfortable to watch, and like I was singing kind of like a patter bit, like at the same time. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Fangirls had a lot of them. I remember there was
Quick changes in
Yeah.
Fangirls are cuckoo bananas.
yeah.
Does the Edna track have crazy quick changes as well?
One, I think, but
Yeah.
it was like layering the quick
One?
change underneath.
Tour must have been hard. I'll never forget at that start of that. I was 10 when it happened. After doing the like rhythm gymnastics thing,
Yeah.
it literally was like an 11-second quick change or something fucked, and I could never breathe properly. And I was like, I was
you're going,
10 when it, and then I was on the fucked soprano line being like. So
I
bad.
love those TikTok side of stage of how quick changes happen. Like I watch them and I go, wow, the art, isn't it beautiful?
Theatre magic, man.
Theatre magic.
What? Oh, someone asked a gorgeous question. Can you tell me, like, obviously, it doesn't have to be definitive because there would be so many things. What your favourite thing has been, like, a favourite thing about Fangirls, a favourite thing about Six, a favourite thing about Ride the Cyclone?
Whoa. I think
They said, "Fuck the screenwork."
that's okay. Favorite thing about Six is I think like the actual genuine work it did on my ego as a swing. I did not
Great
know I
answer.
needed it. I didn't know I needed it, and I did.
Yeah.
I really did need to just be like, just get out there and do the best you can.
Yes.
It's not all about you. Just go do it.
Yeah.
Make do with the time that you have and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And do it with 5 other people on stage who've done it every single night. Like that, I think that was so good for my any like perfectionism I had was just squashed in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fangirls was like my first lead role, just very special show.
So
Very
special.
like just so special to be a part of it and meet Eve and work with Paige and Zara and all of that stuff. Like it was just super, super special to me. And I think like having a lead role at that point was really, I don't know, I think it set me up to be very open for all of the things that followed.
Yeah.
Ride the Cyclone was just like one of my favourite shows and like so weird how it came around. I remember being like, fuck, I need to do another musical something before Beetlejuice auditions comes around because I've been in film and TV world.
Yeah.
And then I heard the Ride the Cyclone was coming and I was like, well, I'll be in that.
Yeah. Thanks so much. I'll take that one.
Which was like the most classic. My character was exactly
Literally that.
And I came in with that energy and I was like, well, I've got this. And I think they were like, well, that's the character. So I hope she's acting.
So good.
It was just a kooky, weird, fun show that I loved with a really amazing group of people. Really special.
Yeah.
You both were so terrific in it. It was so wonderful.
It was very
Thanks so
special.
much, Mom.
It was so good.
Someone asked a very important question. This will be the last one of the
Yeah.
segment. Karis, what are you eating for Ratfood this week?
Oh my gosh. What am I eating for Ratfood
How cute
this
is that?
week?
So sweet.
Well, were you not going to ask? Are we all going to answer it?
Well, it's not a. This is a rat bag, not a rat
of
food.
course.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking fan.
That's Karis. Bad Karis.
Ratfood, I'm having a lemongrass tofu banh mi from Viet Rose.
Perfect answer.
No chili, no coriander because I'm boring like that.
Boring like that.
Because I can't handle strong flavors, but I can handle a tiger roll.
Yum.
I love that. I'm having chips, potato chips, but when the fucking ushers put it in those fucking popcorn things so you don't rustle around in the cinema or in the theatre.
yeah.
And I'm
The
like,
little-
this doesn't feel like the whole bag. I feel like I've been gaslit. That's what I'm eating.
That's really
Okay.
good. I'm eating a brekkie roll because I had one this morning that this is inspired by. I actually went, I'm Superwoman, I can conquer the world. It was just the perfect. It had a hash brown, it had an egg, it had some bacon, it had some cheese.
It was shiny.
Some relish, some caramelized onion. It was just delicious.
It looked like when, you see like on SpongeBob and you want to eat the Krabby Patty.
Yes.
It was a real life version of something that's a cartoon. It looked bloody delicious.
I love that. Well, thank you so much to everyone who ran to the hotline.
Thanks for everyone for asking those sweet, sweet questions.
got so
Good
many
questions.
fans.
They were beautiful, beautiful questions.
And no one asked me what my favourite queen was to play on Six,
Yeah.
which was the question that makes me want to tear my hair out.
How many times have you been asked it?
I would say I've definitely been asked that question in my whole life more than 50 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you just start to say different answers just to change it up a bit because you're sick of it?
Yeah, I think I ended up getting mean with it, and then I had to remind myself they're probably 15, and I think they just want to interact. So
That's
Karis, be
really
nice.
upsetting.
And that's so
So
sorry
fair.
if I ever was rude.
No.
It's really upsetting that after all that, now I'm desperate to know the answer. I'm literally
What
like,
if we
I'm not
do-
gonna, but I really want to.
I'll tell you after, and it's not what you think.
Well,
Everyone's fucked. Well, that's actually very funny that we've ended on that question because it might come up in
shit.
this next segment.
Oh shit!
Now, Karis is a fan of the pod and has listened to the pod, which is great. However, I'm going to give the slight preamble for anyone listening for the first time. Mel and I like to operate in extremes, and we like to ask questions, obviously, that are flipped. Instead of, what's your favourite ideal day? We like to go, let's go the opposite, see what people despise. We've asked this before on our old podcast. We asked it to Lazy Susan. Karis, I want you to build us brick by brick, little by little, however you want, your personal hell. What it looks like, a day in the life in your personal hell. Hey, it might involve the sixth question, which you might have to answer.
I think I will put that in
So
there.
talk to us about your personal hell. You can go as detailed as possible. We talk about where we sleep, who's around us, what we do in the day. Oh, also, this is the kick-ons question. Hit that sting. All right, your personal hell.
My personal hell is the night before I've done illicit substances.
Yep.
Specifically the ones that are reduced to serotonin the next day.
Yeah.
It's a really strong start.
My jaw is fucked up,
Yep.
and I have a headache, and I can't eat anything to take my usual 2 Panadol, 2 Nurofen combo.
Yep.
I wake up, I'm late for something. I am being rushed, and for some reason I have to eat before I go there because one of my least favourite things in the world is rushing eating.
Yep.
I would rather starve. I hate that so much.
Yep.
I'm putting makeup on in the Uber, and I'm a bit scared that the Uber person is like mad at me for getting my makeup out, but I have to because this thing I'm going to is important, and I'm a bit sweaty, so the makeup's not sticking on.
What kind of beat are you doing in your personal hell?
My foundation's not sticking.
Yep.
And like my eyebrows are fucked. Like I haven't plucked them. I haven't done them. My eyes are a bit bloodshot, a bit puffy. Like, when you're putting eyeliner on a puffy eye and you just know it's not going to look the same in like 2 hours.
Absolutely.
Boy, do I.
Yep. So it's that. And then I get there and everyone's going, oh my God, okay, get in, go. We're like getting changed, blah, 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 blah.
It's a bit of Mel.
Adjacent to me.
Yeah.
It's that. And then they're going, cool, so this is this really important person. And it's like, just someone I've looked up to. It's Helena Bonham Carter.
Sure.
Helena Bonham Carter's there and just like, hey, love, and she's so nice. And I'm like on the brink of tears. And then I can see my phone going off, and it's my dad who doesn't quite call me. So I think he's having a heart attack. and I have to then go on like live TV, and then I go on the interview, and it's. Oh my God, I nearly actually just said their name and I was like, that was
I saw that and I went, go there. This is a great engagement.
I went, I'm locked the fuck in.
I'm scared. No, because what if like I have to do like an interview something with them for like I'll tell you who I was thinking of after.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an interviewer and they're there. And the first question out of their mouth is, who is your favourite queen to play on Six?
Bravo.
What song would be underscoring this entire day for you on loop on your iPod?
Like one that would be torturous to
yeah,
me?
yep.
Happy by Pharrell Williams.
Oh. That sits in the same wheelhouse with my I fucking hate Shape of You by Ed Sheeran, and that's that same happy-go-lucky Kmart ad would play in a kid's birthday party of Pass the Parcel. It's got that
And it
energy.
never ends.
It never ends.
You can't, like, if you were to sing it, you just go around in circles because there's no end.
I used to have to use Happy to teach 4/4 time to 6-year-olds. I'm done with this. Clap along if you just does that make you want to die? Karis, just answer the 6th question. Room without a roof. I'll just keep going. I'm kidding.
What would you be wearing in your personal hell?
A V-neck top.
God, we're all the same. Hashtag echo chamber.
Deep V-neck
And also, because that's like, if my skin breaks out, I generally like will have it here.
Yep.
Chest
So
acne.
I'm having a breakout there, and they've put me in a V-neck top, yellow. I should never wear yellow.
Does it have a slogan like "Here comes treble" with a treble clef or something like that?
I reckon it's got a picture of someone.
Good off the cuff. Thanks, everyone. I'll interview myself. Fucking popping off here. Lime, bright green on an olive green couch. Nino.
I reckon it's got a photo. Like I have this singlet in real life that I love that has Bjork on it, but I can't wear it because like just where her face is with my boobs, like her eyes look like really like straight. So I reckon it's something like that where they've been like, oh, you like, you know, insert person here. Like we put that on a V-neck top for you, and like it looks crazy on my tits.
100%.
And it's got little cap sleeves.
And on bottom?
Cap sleeves.
And on bottom, I'm in like leggings that have the seam right in the middle.
Or like in the arse?
No, in the puss.
Oh,
Because they really get me. And
I thought you were talking about the scrunch bumps.
No,
Scrunch bum leggings?
nah. Just the ones with the seams right in the middle, a bit too tight and like not high-waisted enough, so you hitch them up and it's like Rick and Morty's mouth. The little W. When they go,
So good. Oh, that's so funny about the 6th question. That's so good.
I really understand that in my personal hell, my you may not know this, Karis, mine starts with me being woken up like this, me like sleeping, and someone going, Mel, get up, gotta go. That is
The rushing.
the rushing and the like feeling like I should be somewhere and not being able to start my day peacefully
it's so important how you start your day.
is hell to me.
No.
Absolute hell to me.
Hey, thanks for answering the personal hell question. I am now going to be looking out for any interview from here on in where they're like, what was your favourite game to play? And just watch the cogs turning. So good.
I'm so stoked to be launching into the next segment.
Oh my God.
It's a segment that's going to be Karis led, first of all.
Shit.
We have something that we want to talk about with you, Karis. Well, the perfect people to talk to
Yes.
you about. To talk to you about this. Mm-hmm. You have a theory, if you will, or a diagnosis.
I do.
For yourself.
Yeah.
That I would love for you to share on mic. I would love for you to explain what it is. I would love to explain how it works, how it manifests for you. Take the floor.
Could you imagine if I just said like any other diagnosis but the one that you're thinking of?
Do you like cancer? But I didn't really want to talk about it. Thanks, Mel.
I'm like, yeah, the UTI. So I have come up with this theory. It kind of goes hand in hand with the way I was describing the things that I like earlier about things that I have no choice in versus the things that consciously make sense. And so I referred to my love of musical theatre as the sickness because like a sickness, you don't choose to get sick and you don't choose how it hits you or when. And sometimes you have episodes and you're like, oh no, I'm sick. Like this is taking over me. Yep. And you just got to ride it out. There's not really a cure for this sickness.
Yeah.
Because I do think that as much as, I can't imagine myself without loving musical theatre, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why am I crying watching Annie?
It is a physiological sensation.
Yeah.
We have symptoms.
Yeah, I do. I'm overwhelmed and I'm taken and I need to share it as well. That's a big symptom is you won't shut the fuck up.
And would you say it's contagious?
Ooh, I don't know. I think some people like fake the symptoms but
Whoa.
they want that diagnosis,
Whoa.
but they're
It's
not
like
a
people
true
with
sick,
dogs. I get
sick
that.
bitch.
So some symptoms I would say: crying, increased heart rate. Yep. What other ones?
Needing to talk about it,
Needing to talk
and
about
needing to like you know that thing where you're talking to someone and you feel like they're not quite like if you're
Yes.
like everyone with Wicked basically being like, no, but in the Oz Dust Bowl, did you see when in her eyes? And it's like, and the person goes, yeah, and so they keep going because they're like, I need you to have the same
Yep.
reaction as me,
And I need you
That's
to
a
hear it
symptom.
and share it.
I need you to go, whoa, yeah, actually, I do
Yeah.
get it. Like that, seeking that
approval.
feeling, that's
Yep.
a symptom for
Seeking
sure.
approval.
Yeah. And then like just like chills, like getting chills and getting butterflies and, you know, the night before like rehearsal or something like new starts and you go like, tomorrow we're going to go around the circle and we're going to say our names and pronouns and the character we play. And you're like,
I'm
Best
obsessed.
thing in the world. And I'm ill with that.
yeah, and you're like,
am
fuck, it's so exciting.
obsessed with it. Well, we have come up with a bit of a segment that is called The Sickness. So, to begin, we're going to unpack some of the moments where you feel the sickness deeply. Mel's going to share some and I'm going to share some.
Yeah.
And then we're going to rank some on the sickness scale at the end. So, to start, what's been some moments for you where you have gone, fucking hell, I have the sickness? Can you think of anything?
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like it's a great example of the sickness because it struck me and I don't want to like it, but I fucking love The Greatest Showman. I don't like The Greatest Showman. Fuck P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
Like,
But you love it.
when he's like, ladies and gents, this is the moment you waited for. Wow, wow. And he's like, phew. I'm like, ah! It's so exciting. That song is like, on fire, this fire. That
Paris, do
gets
you
me
know
going.
Samantha Andrew Stance in The Greatest Showman?
I can't stand it.
It's
I'm
fair.
sorry.
Oh, no, I get
but
it.
I
I'm not blind
understand
by the sickness.
why people would love it. I just am not in for the, and I know you said that before, I'm not in for the roll up, and I find some of the songs hard to listen to. But I love that for you. And I'm not going to yuck your yum because I have the sickness in my own ways.
Yeah.
I'll bang on and on about Thumbelina and the score for that, and we can do that later. But for now, okay, so The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman, there's so many parts. From now on is maybe one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard, and I don't actually think that it's the sickness talking. It really is.
What's
It's
your
kind
favourite part of the song?
of the last chorus where it goes,
We will come back home. We will
come back home, and the soprano's like, ah!
That's a bit of me.
That was very you. But like, yeah, I logically know I don't like it, but I cry.
Yeah.
I do cry. And when I hate when little kids sing, but when he's like, I close my eyes.
That's a
and I'm
beautiful
like,
melody. I'll give them that.
Does it for you?
I love it.
Can I tell you one of mine?
Please.
It's in Sunday in the Park with George.
Yeah.
It's
Sondheim
this-
sickness is a bit different.
Sondheim sickness hits different.
It's like PTSD versus
Yeah.
CPTSD.
yeah. It's
Sondheim
specifically
sickness.
this. I'm ill when this happens.
Yeah.
Towards the verticals of trees. The stack of harmonies. To then I'll go forever.
It's so good.
I actually, no joke, I just got goosebumps.
I remember my harmony from when I sang that.
And
I got
everyone
chills. I was
does.
It's so good. Sondheim is great. Mine is Sondheim
Yeah.
as well.
like, yeah.
The song Maria sends
Oh my
me.
God.
It sends me to the stars. I genuinely think it is one of the best well-written love songs, lyrically, melodically. It is just like sonically divine.
Yeah.
I have the sickness because I keep showing it to my musical friends, but not my music theatre friends. I go, yeah, that is a good melody. I'm like, no, but you don't get it.
get
You would,
it.
and then Maria. I'm like, and they're rambling because they're in love, and they're sitting there going, yeah, totally. No, I do.
they're not imagining it
orchestration.
doing it.
And I go, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get it. So mine is a Sondheim one as well. That's the first. Do you
Yeah.
have any others?
I have two others that have sprung to mind.
Please.
One, I was actually talking about this recently on my private account. Sorry, it feels like illegal to mention it because I don't want people to know it exists. But because I do think it's something as well in like, yes, Sondheim is like so elite and like
Yeah.
we can get sick about Sondheim anytime,
Yeah.
but it is in like the most obvious songs.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is in Maria.
Yep.
It is in Seasons of Love when they when did they do it? At the Sydney Theatre Awards recently, and I really refreshed and I heard the lyrics. How do you measure the life of a woman or a man? In
What a question.
And then in truths that she learned, in times that he cried, in bridges he burned, or the way that she died. What the fuck?
That's
what
so,
the fuck?
It's so fucking poetic. It's
and I say like,
so
sorry.
poetic.
Also, the use of the pronouns there, I really dig. The tears that he cried.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Also, just in such a just going. How do you measure life? In this like nonchalant way of being like, you've just asked the biggest question
That
in the
is
world,
huge.
but you're doing it with a step click.
And it's very like, it's not like too flowery of a language. It's just option A, B, C, or D.
How is
Have
it?
a think. Everyone shut up and measure your life in love.
I've got one,
Please.
and
Go on.
it's one I've shared on mic before.
Yeah.
And Sammy knows this more than anyone because every single time we get in the car, I demand we play it. Mine is Muriel's wedding.
Yeah. Fuck. Is it the bouquet?
It's not
Sydney?
the bouquet. No, it's Here Comes the Bride. Oh. And I see the moment in my head now, and there's two versions that I love. It's the OG Max McKenna version.
Yep.
That goes do 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 do, and they get like lifted up into the air onto someone's shoulders, and they're like seeing themselves in a wedding dress, and then they go, "Here comes the bride."
Mine and Muriel's is in Sydney, where that bitch comes out the front and goes, I left everything I own, take it to the end of the rainbow. And then she just disappears back into the ensemble.
What a role.
On top of that, though, on top of the Max McKenna version, there's the Nat Abbott version. Nat Abbott's Opt Up. I'll never forget it a day in my life.
I was in the pews.
When she gets lifted up and she went, and Australia stopped at this moment, when Nat Abbott went, here comes the bride. She didn't opt up, and I was like, I'll never be the same.
Every time Mel gets in my car and Mel goes, I'll just put some music on. I literally just go like this, we'll be driving, and I'll be driving because both of you don't have your licenses. driving. And then I'll just go, Feel the Silk. And we'll put on Feel the Silk for my girl probably a few times round.
Nothing
Probably
quite
a few
like
times
it.
round.
Do you have a final?
I have one more, and
Yeah.
it's like less of a song moment and more
Thank
like
you.
I think it's relevant to now. I'm glad
Yeah.
I remembered this. I have been obsessed with watching the Hamilton closing videos on like the Hamilton official accounts or like people's TikToks.
Yeah.
The way that I was like laying in bed and I was like zooming in. Someone posted a video. I think it was like a fan posted a TikTok, and it was like they were kind of front row on the final bow on the final night of Hamilton, and I got the sickness just in the way of like zooming in on people's faces, watching them like go. Holding each other's hands and stuff, and I was like, God, I bet that feels fucking good. You're at the end of this mammoth show. You've been a part of something so big, and you're literally looking at it, and everyone's standing up, like screaming, crying for you, and you've got like one last time. George Washington's going home, and I'm literally like. Imagine being in the theatre hearing him sing One Last Time for the last time. Imagine that final gasp.
Yep.
I literally was like, I watched this like 4-minute long video over and over, zooming in on different people's faces, seeing how they felt. And I was like, fuck yes.
Because they've been marinating for years since when you're in year 12 and you're doing your final musical. That's when you've been marinating since year 12, and you get to cry on your final show being like, this is our final show of
It
Zombie
was that, but they're adults.
But they're adults.
And
They've
they have more than every right
They have
to be
bank
acting
accounts.
that way.
100%.
Most of them have houses, I assume.
On Hamilton, I bet they do.
Yeah.
We must unpack some on the sickness scale
yeah.
because we've prepared some. Now,
Okay, yeah.
the sickness scale, you can be as kind or as harsh as you want. 1 is this does not give me the sickness, even though it's music theatre.
Yep.
To 10 being fucking hell, full body chills, manic rambling,
Yep.
might need to go to the doctor.
Cool.
My
Love that.
first one, I'm getting a call, not answering that, don't have time. My first one is, it's simple, the foyer bell. When the show's about to start.
Ooh.
It's a simple one.
Okay.
How deep on the sickness scale is that for you? When
Am
you
I
hear
in
that bell?
Am I in the show or in the foyer?
You're in the foyer, but it's a show you want to see. It's a small one to ease. It's not a high one. I want to ease us in. Or maybe it is high.
I think it's a 6.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
nice. Mel?
I've got, what about the very first time you hear a cast member whisper the words, you guys are my family?
Nah, 0. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm sorry.
This one, I wonder if it'll be very low or very high. I don't think it'll be a middle one. The very first arpeggio on a karaoke Broadway backing track for Once Upon a December. So the boo 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 boo. When that plays from Broadway tunes with a
Yeah.
Z, and it's piddly and it's tinny, how high up on the scale is that for you?
I think it's low. Because I do that like in my bathroom. You know, you hear that
Yeah.
like that one. I can't remember what it is. The logo is yellow and it goes.
Yeah. The intros.
Is it Amaret's?
Maybe, I don't know. It's like the most popular one.
Yeah.
And I'm always, whenever I hear that on my Wonder Boom in the bathroom and it goes, ding, and I'm like, all right, I'm in.
You're locked
But
in.
I'm not like,
fucking
I'm not
locked
in
in.
like theatre loving mode. I'm in like, like
work
I'm practicing mode.
Okay.
Interesting. So they're different.
We
Yep.
quasi just covered this. I did write down a tear rolling down your face on closing night that you don't wipe away and you let glisten on your cheek.
You know I love that.
That's a bit of Karis Oka.
Yeah. I love to have a tear rolling down my face. I love it.
That's pretty ill.
I fucking love it.
That's pretty ill.
Yeah, and especially when you like you like I think that's like the most beautiful version of a cry as well. Like they're like not like oh no, I've got to pull it together and you're just like and
Let
it's like
me
just
weep.
like rivers, like Studio Ghibli like bubbly rivers that just come down my face and I'm like yes. And it's like I look like I'm going like what a good job we all did, but I'm literally like I have never been so hard.
Yeah. Like a rat? Yeah. Just making sure.
I turn to the side and you will see I've got a huge boner.
What about the tap dance break in Anything Goes?
Oh, like the Patti LuPone version absolutely gives me the sickness.
Yep. How high?
That's like the Patti LuPone version, like that video is one that I definitely go back and rewatch a lot. And I'd say that one's like an 8.5.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I guess I haven't seen it in real life.
Yeah, sure. That might be higher.
Yeah.
I've got a final one. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your honey.
I don't know.
For me, it's 0.
Now, this is an inside joke
It's
because I have no idea what's going on.
So that's a vocal warm
Oh,
up.
no, I don't know it.
It's a vocal warm up, and you know, there's always one vocal warm up after everyone's done Bella Signoras and just like
I'm
some
familiar. Yes.
people will just do their usual sirens, and then there's always one that's like it's got words and it's got a little bit of a like
more
a
of a song,
funky,
bit more
a
of a
funky
groove.
rhythm to
Yeah.
it, and like all of a sudden everyone is like doing their thing where they're zoned out and they're like in warm up, but they're singing their tit song and they're going, "Mother, I feel you under my feet," as though they're warming up. They're performing to a stadium. It just isn't there.
We could talk for hours, Mel and I, about performative warm-ups, and
Oh,
we've been
God.
around it in so many green rooms. It should be studied.
Yeah.
But with that, we no more warming up, no
That's
more
right.
riffing on the sickness. We must move in to the final segment.
Holy shit.
You're built for this, babe.
Oh, fuck.
It's time for a Hit It Toots. Do you know the sting for that one?
Singing is not annoying and everything is better as a song. Bing.
Singing is not annoying, and everything is better as a song.
Hey, thanks for doing the alto part. Alto writes. So we're here. We've got 3 parts: S1, S2, and A. Alto. We're going to do a Hit It Toots with 3 voices. We've decided. Karis, you can actually tell us, what are we doing for our Hit It Toots?
Our Hit It Toots is I'm going to be playing Jeffrey, my rat in a jar, and you guys are playing rats in bags.
We're playing Rats in Bags. For anyone that's just a fan of Karis Oka and doesn't give a fuck about me and Mel, fair enough. This is where we improvise a song. And if you're clicking off, love Karis the full way and watch the full leg, you fuckwits. It's time for a Broadway-style rat jar meets rat bag. Hit It Toots.
Who starts? Do we just find it
Whatever.
out? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll give an intro.
Rats.
Squeak, squeak. Just kidding. I'm dead.
I'm a rat in a bag, yes I am. I'm a rat in a bag.
Squeak, squeak.
And we're warming up for our show. It's called Ratbag and Rat Jar. And look, there's Jar over there. He's walked in his character shoes.
Actually, my name is Jeffrey. I've been dead for very, very long. Let me get out of this jar. Or maybe not, because I have a disease.
Hi, Jeffrey. My name's Amelia. I'm a rat in a bag. I like to sit in a fake Louis Vuitton with the girls while they're doing their pod. I like to squeak around. You like to sit in a jar. 2 gals, kind of the same and different. That's cool, Jeffrey. Oh, fuck, that's so bad.
I think I call this the fucking rat race. And I like to sit in a plastic case, but also a bag. Yes, you old bag. Oh, now it's time for Jeffrey's monologue.
Hi, what's up? I'm here and in my jar. I'm wondering where all my other rat friends are. I see you in your bag and I wonder if one day I could be just like you too.
Tell me what's the fluid that you're sitting in, Jeffrey?
It's isopropyl alcohol and I think it needs refreshing.
What's your owner's name, Jeffrey? Do you hang out? Do you go to the shops? What's it like to have a human friend?
Well, actually, it's kind of really scary because I'm in a jar. I can't get shaken around. So I just stay on the bedside table. I don't know what key I'm in, but it's pretty boring.
You're kind of fine if you're not in key, because neither am I. You kind of look like you're in surfing in a box. But we like to go out and go to the shops, don't we, Amelia?
We do, absolutely, Peter. Amelia.
No, you wickedly
literally
talented
ate.
slayified that.
Sorry, can we unpack Karis's legit soprano?
I don't know why that version of my voice came out.
My baby's a
With some like voice leading chromaticism down the scale. See you later, everyone.
That was incredible work, Karis.
Oh my god.
Blacked out.
How did it go? Was it what you expected to hit it to us?
Yeah, it was really fun. I can't remember it.
No, we fully blank out. And then sometimes we listen back to episodes, have no idea what we did, and we go, oh God.
Jesus.
When we finally listen.
As long as one of the verses hit, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You hit all of it. I provided actual garbage
Same.
out.
All I did is go, my name's Peter and I don't know, that's
And I'm in a
Amelia."
Louis Vuitton bag.
Karis Oka, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. Literally, I've said it before, but I am my own dream guest on my podcast for you guys.
no, you are dream guest
Just
on
because
our
I actually
podcast.
listen to it and I sometimes get mad because I want to join in and I'm not on the phone with you. I'm just walking around with you on my headphones. You'll say something, I'm like,
Yeah, rats.
oh fuck.
It has
fucking
been,
adore ya.
we adore you, a pleasure and a
you.
joy. We love you. Is there anything you want to plug to let people to know?
Come to see Beetlejuice.
Yeah, go see Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going to be phenomenal.
Where can people find you, please?
People can find me on my Instagram at Karis Oka.
What's the private?
And what's your favourite queen to play in six? And with that,
Oh, thank you so much
Thank
for listening.
you.
For anyone that's discovering this pod for the first time, if you liked our addition to the Karis Superstar Spectacular, you can follow us. We're the Mel Sam, but actually, who cares about us? It's actually about Karis, and we're just so thrilled that you joined us today.
Oh my God, I'm literally so happy to be here.
thank
We
you,
love
darling.
you.
We love
Thanks,
you.
bye.
Bye, guys.
This is a Grouse House podcast.
Mel and Sam would like to acknowledge that this podcast was created and recorded on stolen land.
The original custodians of this land have had a rich history of storytelling for over 65,000 years, and we pay our respects to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, whose land we are making Ratbag on.
Treaties were never signed, sovereignty was never ceded, always was and always will be Aboriginal land.